So last night I finished the story campaign for Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and this was a game that I was really looking forward to. You guys that have been watching me for a while know how much of a fan I am of Uncharted as a game series. I thought it was fantastic that Naughty Dog was going to focus on a couple of other characters that have been fan favorites, and I count myself as a fan, and I count these characters as some of my favorites. Nadine Ross, who was introduced in Uncharted 4, and also Chloe Frazer, who I think has been around since Uncharted 2. I've always loved Chloe Frazer, and that's good news for me because you get to play as Chloe Frazer, and you partner up with Nadine Ross on this really cool adventure through India. And of course, the core sort of concept of all the Uncharted games is you are looting antiquities. You are entering all kinds of great ancient ruins, and you are looking for precious stuff. And that's exactly what happens here. The game doesn't stray too. I almost said movie. Did you see that? But the game doesn't stray too much from the formula. Even though you're not playing as Nathan Drake, you are still doing a lot of what Nathan Drake does. The mechanics feel exactly the same. The animations obviously are a little bit different to kind of correlate with the fact that you're playing as a woman and you're partnered with another woman. But pretty much you're getting into the same sort of combat routines. You know, you've got really cool gunplay and the ability to roll out of the way and sneak and stealth and do some cool attacks without the awareness of your enemies on screen. They've also brought back the grappling mechanic as well, so you can throw a rope up and attach it to an object and swing. And there's some really cool combo swing type things that you can do where you swing from one, let go, swing to another one, let go. Batman would be proud. And you know what? It's gorgeous as well. This was the first time that I played an Uncharted game with a sight unseen on the PS4 Pro with HDR coming off of the thing on my 4K television. And holy crap, does it look incredible. It was amazing to go back to Uncharted 4 after I had beat that game on the Pro and stuff and sort of saw the visuals again in that new light. But it was really something special to play this as a true 4K experience, just as I did when I checked out Horizon Zero Dawn earlier this year on a 4K set. And it pops off the screen. The HDR is incredible. All of the lifelike kind of foliage that you can sort of walk through, and everything's moving, and there's animals, monkeys, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely sumptuous. There were, obviously some concessions made. This isn't the full-fledged Uncharted sequel that we're going to have to wait a little while for. This is more of a standalone expansion. I clocked in at around 7 hours to get from start to finish. I didn't look for every single thing. I think I found about 21 of the 68-ish treasures that you can pick up in here. I didn't go into every single nook and cranny, and there is a very, very expansive kind of go anywhere area within the game where you're using the Jeep and you're going from temple to temple and you're solving a puzzle here and then you're getting back in the Jeep, driving across the jungle and solving something over there. It stretches out forever, but there's a couple things. First of all, I think it's time for Naughty Dog to make Uncharted a co-op experience. We've got incredible characters that are voiced by phenomenal actors. Laura Bailey is terrific as Nadine Ross, and Claudia Black is perfect as Chloe Frazer. So you fall in love with these characters, but you only ever play from the perspective of Chloe Frazer. And I feel like in 2017, after a few iterations of the Uncharted experience, it's time for Naughty Dog to deliver a true co-op sort of game mode where you can play from start to finish in the story with two different people, because you're kind of always chit-chatting and chattering back and forth, and you need that camaraderie to play these games and to finish these adventures. And I feel like it's time for these things to be co-op and for Naughty Dog to take that extra step. And the other thing that we have, especially as it pertains to the single player experience, just like The Last of Us kind of changed everything when that came out, now we've got Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has come out, and we are in a post Breath of the Wild world. And even though this is an expansive game and there are elements of free roaming in the game, you are still hampered by lots of kludgy, invisible wall type scenarios. Rocks that look like you can climb up on them, but Chloe Frazer will just sort of jump up and she can't get to them. And log jams and things like that looks like she would just be able to climb over them or scurry under them. You can't do it, and it's a little frustrating because you're running around saying, okay, can I go here? No. Can I go over here? No. Can I go over here? And I just thought back to the amount of detail and sort of the macro experience of being able to traverse the map in Zelda so wonderfully. And even Horizon Zero Dawn offered a lot of that as well, although not to the same degree as Zelda did. Now, I know that's asking a lot because of the super rich detail that's in these environments. Naughty Dog excels in that regard, and we've got all that incredible facial animation and performance capture. I mean, this is a true sit-down, munch your popcorn, and have an Indiana Jones-style adventure, just like we've come to expect from all the Uncharted games. And it doesn't feel, it comes in at a lower price point, so it doesn't feel like a ripoff at all. But it does feel a little less surprising and a little less sort of ambitious than we've seen out of previous Uncharted experiences. And it's incredible because this is, gameplay that I've dreamt about and character sort of creation that I've wanted forever out of video games. And it's amazing how quickly this medium moves, and we have this level of polish and production and presentation. It's incredible, and then it sort of starts to become a routine. And I feel like Uncharted is going into that direction, and I think if Naughty Dog is going to come back and surprise, who knows if they will. I'm not sure if they're going to do that again. Maybe they're going to create a whole brand new franchise for us. But I feel like if they're coming back with an Uncharted game, they really have to shake it up and surprise us. We've had this fantastic climb, and I would say that this is more of a plateau than a climb with this franchise, but now it's time to kind of shift it and shake us and make something brand new. And I'd be surprised if Sony and Naughty Dog are not going to go back to Uncharted and the Nathan Drake universe, especially with the movie on the way and all that. But it's definitely not a shock. It's not a surprise. There are a lot of notes in here that you kind of will expect, some big fights that you will expect, some incredible set pieces. The ending does get a little bit messy. It sort of just keeps, building and building and building, and we've got this crazy crest and this crescendo, and you don't know where the hell you're going. The mechanics are messy and muddy and a little out of control, and it's still fun. But, at the end, a little bit sort of emotional and authentic, and some cool choices, and satisfying. A satisfying conclusion. And, in addition to the 7 to 8 hour-ish campaign that you get with the game, which has always been, for my money, the reason why you get excited about Uncharted, they also have all of the multiplayer that just keeps getting iterated on and improved and tweaked and polished from Uncharted 4, and they've introduced a survival mode, which basically gives you Uncharted Horde mode, which was fun. I played with bots, still had a good time. The servers aren't live yet, so not everybody's on there playing the survival stuff, but you're getting all of the Uncharted multiplayer in there. There's extra perks and extra unlockables and things like that, some new film grain things that you can add to the pictures that you take. And Chloe has got a smartphone that you're constantly able to take photos on, and you can actually, it's a cool sort of mechanic. You can scan through them like you would scan them on your smartphone, which is kind of crazy. This is a great package. Is it a revolution? No. Is it a nice iteration on the world and the characters and the universe of Nathan Drake's and Uncharted's that is fun to dive back into? Absolutely. I think you should pick this up if you're an Uncharted fanatic like I am. Just don't be expecting to be blown away by all kinds of new stuff that you've never seen before. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy gets an 8.5 out of 10 for me.